in the wake of the big fight between Jasmine Crockett, Marjorie Greene, with AOC sort of caught in the middle, we eventually got out of Congress and they both took to social media. And Jasmine Crockett, I think, is rightfully defensive considering she was the person who was attacked first. Now, yes, she did counterpunch, and she counterpunched 100 times harder than Marjorie Greene was capable of doing. But she says, so Marjorie wanted to talk about my appearance in committee. It's against the rules to do so. She refused to apologize. All of that is true. The chairman ruled that it was okay. I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but he didn't like force her to apologize or anything. And so she says, this is what happens when mentally deficient people who can't read and follow rules or just don't give a damn somehow end up in Congress. She also points out that she is a person who lives in a glass house. So that's what she said. Now, here is what Greene said. And Greene does this thing where she is all of the proof you need that tweets never should have been able to be longer than the 280 characters. Because you could write more, Marge, but it can't mean anything more. Anyway, she says some people are upset about the scene from Oversight Committee last night. Well, I'm upset and disgusted pretty much every day. The Democrat control, blah, 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 blah. They want to put President Trump in jail the rest of his life, which is a death sentence. Look, if you don't have anything to say about the thing that's actually being discussed, you could just not post on social media, Marge. Like if you can't come up with a clever, hard-hitting thing to say about this, you shouldn't just list the talking points you've read on Truth Social. But she says they're throwing people in jail for protesting. I think it's more for trying to beat cops to death and breaking property. Why does that not bother you that they did that? Hey, I'm glad you're here. Listen, in order for the damage report to keep on going, we need viewers like you to become a member on YouTube. Can you click the join button on YouTube today? Thank you. Points out that Peter Navarro and Steve Bannon went in prison. Well, I mean, yeah, they theoretically should. Anyway, talks about how much Congress has enslaved the American people at over $34 trillion in debt. How much of that was contributed by Donald Trump during his 4 years? I think it was $8 or $9 trillion. Is that portion also bad? Anyway, she talks about funding and fighting foreigners, blah, blah, blah. Pardon me if I don't talk as nicely as some people would like to hear. No, here's what she wants. Here's the brand that she wants. I'm a rebel and a maverick, and I will speak strongly about the things I care about. No, you were talking about stupid, like non-relevant conspiracy theories. And then when it was pointed out that what you were saying didn't make any sense, you lashed out like a child. It's not strong, it's not rebel, it's not maverick. It's little kid stuff. Any little kid can shout a swear at someone. And then blah, 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 talks about the implosion of the United States. It's like the issue, Brett, is that fundamentally she's incapable of shame. We know that from the fact that she keeps talking in public, despite the fact that she always looks stupid, and from her own personal life. And she's in a super red district, so she ain't going anywhere. There's no standards. They don't care that she's one of the dumbest people in America. What do you think? What can be done? How would you? Do you think that really fast? I want to specify. Do you think that Jasmine Crockett should have arguably descended to her level? What would you have done? What should be done?
I mean, I think that the main thing to do is just look at that tweet by Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's just a complete copy paste of what to say when you got nothing to say.
Yeah.
But that doesn't stop them, and it is an asset strategically to just stay on message with that stuff. If you can get away with it, do it. So I think the Jasmine Crockett's and the AOCs are not the problem. They're the ones who actually know how to communicate their message so that millions and millions of people see it. I know our channel TYT Investigates, the people who put up the numbers where people flock by the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, are Katie Porter, AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Jamie Raskin. These are the people that people are looking to.
Intelligent people.
And if the challenge is to create a viral moment out of C-SPAN footage, there are people who are doing it with substantive points, and then there's Marjorie Taylor D-bag. Like that's what's happening, and we get to point it out. But now everybody on the left needs to have the messages at the ready, the things to put in there to copy paste. Like those are all just messages that have been false since the get-go. And they've just been repeating them so that their group feels strong enough, like the little Nazis that they are, to just repeat the lie until repeating it is no longer a statement of fact or fiction, but rather a signal that you are on that team.
Yeah, I'm curious now that we're in like a full day of news. Like any reasonable person seeing interactions between these people, I don't think you can possibly think that Marge comes out of this looking good or intelligent or strong or whatever. But like the right does like her. And I just, while I can put myself in her mind, I cannot put myself into the mind of a person who sees that and thinks, yeah, Marge. I don't get that.
Because
in
of
the same way that
it's because of how the moment is set up on in manicure. I mean, you make enough points on this very show to understand everything about it. It's that, how you talked to, I think it was like Laura Ingraham or someone, where it's like everything he took it and flipped it yesterday's show. She said everything that was accurate and just took it and flipped it. Now, if that's the only news source you get, you don't get the true version. And you get the point taken out of context, and they put lipstick on it and they blur the camera so that you don't see all the wrinkles, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's the answer to your question, is people only see it already in a warped context.
Well, we are
enough
going
of their
to
friends are
marinate in that.
They're saying that AOC is actually not hot. That's people. Enough of their people on their side say AOC's a horse-faced, ugly person. But it's like, come on, they know.
We live in a crazy world. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?